to reach a large audience without basically any investment, any effort, really makes it very, very, very unique to this day on the internet. And so, hopefully there will be more sites that kind of follow in those footsteps. But can you please, number 636, can you please open a discussion thread with the new mods at some point so the users can communicate more openly to them? That'll be for them. I mean, I have my own thoughts on that, but I'll let them decide that. I mean, again, the transition is still happening. I would say once the transition is kind of complete to whatever degree we're able to complete it soon, then I think that would be, to your point, kind of an opportune time to, reach the community and, take that feedback. Again, you can email /feedback in the meantime. But I really expect things will be business as usual. I mean, again, maybe who knows? Again, there's going to come a point in time where people don't have to listen to me. But when we give janitor orientations, we kind of make it and moderator orientations, we make it a point to tell people kind of ease into this, don't rock the boat. Just enforce, kind of do things by the book and take it easy. Really, I think there is a sticky on J, which it's funny, every time we have a leak, it's like people kind of gloss over the fact that there's this giant sticky that essentially says, take it easy. In fact, I'm going to read from it right now because it's a good sticky. Subject. So this is on the janitor moderator board, which all of these janitors moderators have access to. But subject, daily reminder to take it easy. And the comment says, give people the benefit of the doubt. A creative thread might look off topic at first glance. People are allowed to argue. They are not allowed to troll. Not everything that gets reported needs to be deleted or banned. Don't hesitate to use the clear button if no rule is broken. Janitors cannot readily tell if an anonymous poster is ban evading. Ask a mod to check or BR for something else. Help make sure nobody gets banned for 30 days for something they didn't do. Don't increase bans beyond 3 days for minor things. Accept appeals for minor things and be forgiving on Q and IRC. Keep in mind, people come to 4chan to have fun, but their fun should not come at the expense of others. That was posted August 8th, 2013 to Jay. And again, that is representative of basically the advice we've given janitors and moderators for a long time, which is, again, you serve the community, you are a member of the community, do right by the community, and take it easy and don't go bonkers. So I would say my advice kind of to the the people that will eventually at least take over in the interim is similar. It's for the most part things are pretty smooth sailing, and so don't overturn the boat unless you want to deal with the fallout. So again, I mean, it'll be up to them, but again, I don't think that much will change from a user's perspective in the immediate future. Somebody asked, number 644 said, would you go back and do it all over again? Yeah, of course. I mean, why wouldn't I? Again, 4chan has served hundreds of millions of people. It's changed the world. It's influenced culture in ways that very few other sites have. It's defined my entire adult life. It hasn't defined me as a person, but again, it's been a big influence on my life, and I've learned a bunch and made a lot of really excellent friends out of it, and had all these amazing opportunities. And so, and again, I know, and that's just me. And so again, these hundreds of millions of people that have been touched by the site, either directly by using it or indirectly through its its content, its culture. I mean, yeah, 4chan has really left a ripple on the world, and I mean, specifically its community has. And so, of course, I would do it again. I mean, why not? Again, I truly do believe that the site has done far more, good than anything in its years. Can you be transparent about the following? This is number 650. So number 1, other than behind the scenes technical stuff, your presence on 4chan wasn't that notable the past few years, with you admitting that you had decided to leave a long time ago in the recent TechCrunch article. What does you stepping down as admin really mean? Or what makes it such a big change that you had to announce publicly? You're right. I mean, I haven't really been visible over the past few years. But again, I think people misinterpret, me posting regularly or something like that, or posting news posts as like me not being around. I mean, again, I've browsed the site every day. I've still been responsible for everything. Even though I decided to do that, behind the scenes. I mean, one of the reasons I'm less visible is, not that people jump on me, although again, it makes it not very fruitful to post. But I mean, it's a distraction. I mean, I post in a thread, it gets derailed. People use it as an opportunity to ask me questions. They use it as an opportunity to call me names. They, those people ultimately. It's so funny. I mean, people who say nice things. then they get shot down by people saying they're brown nosing. It just becomes this total shit show, and it derails the thread. And then people resent me for what they feel is me derailing the thread, and not the people derailing the thread by shitting it up. So I haven't really posted that much over the past few years for that reason, again, because derailing threads, and most people get pretty upset by that. I mean, the other thing is it's been kind of, I think, again, pretty unrewarding to people to say the question you just asked me, if I were to answer this, again, people will probably are already kind of having a little circle jerk, claiming everything I'm saying is a lie right now anyway. But as I've learned, kind of arguing on 4chan for the most part consists of you're wrong until you agree with me. And essentially anytime I answer a question honestly, which is I try to do all the time, people essentially say, oh, you're lying, you're evading, you're evasive, you're this, which really is just them saying, I want you to agree with me, and until you agree with me, you're wrong, you're lying. And so again, it's kind of become pretty unfulfilling to even try to respond to honest questions or criticism, because as I've learned, you just can't win. And it's not about winning, it's just, but you just can't. If somebody doesn't want to believe something, then it's very hard to appeal to reason. And as we've learned in the last few months, I think one of the things, at least I've learned, it's been pretty funny, is that 4chan has this kind of ability to, it's kind of like the opposite of, or I mean, not 4chan, but again, like specifically my detractors, but I think of it as like the opposite of Occam's razor, where it's like they take kind of the most reasonable, kind of simple solution, or explanation rather, and kind of come up with this alternative that is the most convoluted, conspiracy laden, like hilarious thing, and they ultimately always go with the latter, which again is I find actually very funny, and also a little bit disheartening, or just kind of like sad. But I've just again come to accept it, take it easy, and don't really let it get it down, or kind of get to me. So what's your deal with poll in the last few months? Why mess with it? Again, I think people sometimes read too much into my actions. One, it was fun. I think a lot of people actually had fun with it, and it kind of reminds me, it kind of harkens back to the old 4chan of sorts, where we used to really just kind of mess with boards, like B and A and whatnot, pretty regularly. And I think in a lot of ways, again, it did kind of purge the board of a kind of vocal minority that was just kind of more intent on shitting the board up than actually constructively discussing politics and whatnot. And in the long run, I think it was actually healthier for the board. I mean, we've done kind of purges like that with B a long time ago, that, I mean, at least in the short term, I think kind of helped the quality of things. Gamergate brought a huge shitstorm to V. You made a sticky about it, telling people to rein it. I think you mean maybe rein it in. But overall, what is your assessment of Gamergate and how it's affected V? I met I guess I never really commented on Gamergate outside of that sticky, but I mean, I met a self-identified Gamergater way back when, just after that sticky, actually, at a indie gaming event here in New York, and we actually chatted for about 30 minutes, or maybe closer to 45 minutes, and I was like, it was interesting to kind of hear his points, and I he was very impassioned about it, and my response was just, again, like, this isn't an issue that's that I care about, really, and that's it. I mean, that's what I say. It's like, I don't care, and again, like, the only thing I care about is 4chan, and as I said in that sticky, I mean, it's funny actually, because a lot of people are saying, well, we're not doxing anymore. We used to do that, but we haven't in like a few, we've been good. We've more or less always had a pretty blanket. It's funny actually, because a lot of other people then took issue with me comparing to technology, and I'm sure still will, and said, oh, you're lying, blah blah. But the fact is, I mean, going back to technology, we did in fact Anonymous fucking hated me and hated 4chan for the first few years, or people who identified as quote unquote anonymous, because we did actually push it from B and push it off the site, and we were deleting those threads. And I think at some point made a sticky about it. I mean, that's where the Boston Fail Party came from too. I mean, like 4chan, once the the quote unquote moral fags, who are the anti-Scientology people, were kind of pushed off. Again, like what we now know is kind of